is a brand new season, which means that it's time for us to update our T3 Arena hero tier list. I am super excited to dive into today's video. A couple of changes that you guys might have noticed right away is that I removed the C tier and I added an OP tier at the top. I feel like this game has so many strong heroes, and I love playing a game that just has strong heroes across the board. So as a safe reminder in this video, from OP, S, and A tier, any of those tiers are heroes that are really good. The differences are so tiny. The skill ceiling on some of the higher heroes are just a little bit higher or a lot higher depending on the hero, and that's the reason they're placed in that OP tier. But generally speaking, anybody in OP, S, or A, if you play that hero and you play them for a long period of time, I guarantee you'll find some success here in T3 Arena. And if you really want to win, then just play the OP or S, but OP, S, or A, very strong. The B tier, playable niche picks. You want to play them if you really enjoy them and you have a lot of fun on them, but outside of that, I feel like these characters just have more limitations than some of the other heroes in the game. But either way, without further ado, let's dive right into some of these changes. Some of these are just not going to surprise you guys, so we're going to start off right away with the new additions. We have Lascia. No surprise, OP tier, no questions asked. This hero is so unbelievably strong. I've tried it out for a few days. I've looked at all the heroes in the meta, and I just feel like Lascia, she just has everything in her kit. She's got mobility with the double dashes, the invincibility with those dashes, the reset for the headshot damage, which gives her ammo if you hit a headshot, but also if you dash, you get the reset to where you're, or not the reset, you get the full scoped in version of your gun, which means that you're able to dash and just quickly headshot people. She has the kunais for the vision. She's able to shoot people through walls. Like, Lascia is just a strong hero, no doubt in my mind. We're placing her in the OP tier. We're actually going to be moving up Hua Ling as well. This is going to be a debate amongst the pro community. I've seen people talk about it. Is Lascia better than Hua Ling? Is Hua Ling better than Lascia? Consistently speaking, of course, Hua Ling, she does have a really strong weapon as well. And the thing that makes her super strong that Lascia doesn't have, although Lascia still has vision in her kit, it's the scan, the 24/7 scanning your opponents, being able to see them. I do believe that Lascia does have the edge when it comes to that right-hand peeking sniper, and I feel like her mobility is a lot better than Hua Ling's, where she just dashes back, she's invisible, you can still hit her, whereas Lascia is invincible and she gets a reset and is able to do like a crazy headshot damage. So overall, in my personal opinion, I think Lascia is actually better than Hua Ling, but you will definitely see people debate and say that Hua Ling is better for her weapon overall as well. So it just sort of depends. She does have infinite bullets too, so it's like, it's whoever you want, whoever you play better, but hit scan on Lascia versus the trajectory of the bow. So either way, we're debating somebody that's OP tier, so it really does not matter. Next hero going up into the OP tier, this is not going to surprise you guys either. It's going to be Aletta. Normally, I place these heroes in comparison to the people in their class. So if you see like an OP tier hero, like let's say I put Neon, which we're going to end up putting her in the OP tier as well, so I might as well go ahead and move her here. But Neon being OP tier does not mean that she's going to be better than like Hunter S tier. Like, it's just they're different roles, different positions. So compare each tier to the person in that specific area. Once we get more heroes, I'll probably split up the tier list separately. But I believe that Aletta is always going to be the best flanker in this game. She has all the dashes, all the escapes, the teleport back in time, to be able to get the health, the invisible, and the burst damage on her ultimate. Aletta is the best flanker. She's got the longest range out of the flankers as well. Every other flanker literally has limited range on their gun, I think, except for Ya, actually. But she's able to shoot from long range. It's no doubt in my mind Aletta is the best flanker in the game. And Neon, best healer in the game. When we talk about buffs and nerfs, I feel like let's just keep buffing people to match Neon or to match the stronger heroes instead of bringing them down. Neon has really great healing. She has AoE on that teleport. The mobility in and of itself makes her the best healer in the game because you're able to get out of sticky situations that other healers just are not able to do. And of course, at the highest level of the game, if you see people trying to win the game, they will be playing the Neon hero. So she is going to be another one of these OP heroes in the game. If we see any nerfs go across the board, expect it to come out of that OP tier, to be honest with you. But honestly, I just say buff everyone. Let's have a strong, crazy, overpowered game. Next, we have Jabali, best tank in the game. That will never, my mind will never be changed on this. Jabali is the best tank. He's so good. I understand we have different metas versus like diving tanks and like, or secondary tanks, diving tanks versus like the main tank. I feel like every team will always end up needing a main tank. The only other main tank in the game really is the fort. And Jabali is head and shoulders over the fort. His shield just has so much HP, the way that it can recharge after it breaks in 7 seconds back to full health, how you can put it down and it recharges, how he can really just burst down damage if they pull up to him. Jabali, just the value, and then his ultimate, when you have his ultimate for that second shield into ultimate into shield. I mean, It's just, I don't even have to explain it. Jabali is the best tank hero in the game. I believe that's all that we're going to be putting into the OP tier. So we're going to move on now into the S tier. Here we're going to be adding, we have another new hero in the game. Damon is strong. That's a strong pick, strong hero, S tier, without a doubt in my mind. She just does. I say she, I know the game labels he, she. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get it backwards for the rest of my life, just like I got Labula backwards. It's the way it goes down. But Damon is an absolute beast. The gun that she has is so strong. It's just the scoped AR, able to really shred through tanks. Having a tank shredder is so important in this game, and I know that was the role of Gatlin before, but in comparison, Damon has smaller clip, 20 bullets, but each bullet does a lot more damage. I think it's like 2.5, some 2,000 crazy headshot damage for a fully automatic heavy assault rifle is insane. She can shred through those tanks. 3 shots, she can kill some of these DPSs. So it's like having her on your team is really strong, and her mobility killer, which is really good against the best champ in the game when we talk about Aletta or any of these other champs that are trying to jump, being able to lock them down onto the floor and then throw your ultimate so it can sweep the floor. And even if you don't have your ultimate up, the fact that they cannot jump means that you can hit your shots a lot easier and your teammates can hit their shot a lot easier. So she actually provides a lot of good utility. And another thing that she has on top of Gatlin, not only is the range better, and she has mobility. She can literally fly. It's literally across the map. A lot of these times she can stick into cheese scenarios up on the map where you're just not able to see her, you're not paying attention, and she's shooting you from above. That's going to be headshot damage. You're going to get deleted, and she has armor when she does that as well. So Damon, this was really close. I was just thinking OP, but I just feel like OP, there's something special about it. You know, these characters here, like a really good walling, is scary, bro. So S tier is still really good. The differences are minute. So like I said, any hero I can see you guys putting in the S or OP, vice versa. Same with the A, even depending on the person. I don't think so on all of them, but depending on the person, I can see it. You can play them at that OP level. Next up, we have the tank. Fade is the second best tank in the game, in my opinion. He's the best dive tank in the game as well, so I do think that he does belong in this S tier. Some people can even argue him in the OP tier, but like I said, I still believe having that strong vanguard in the middle of your team is something that's different. Something that Fade, he can still, he's not bad as a main solo tank, but I feel like if you want to even be toxic, combine both him and Fade, and then it's like, now you really do have an overpowered team composition. Next person we're going to move here is going to be the Labula. Comes up from A to S. So Labula, I believe, is the second best healer in the game. I think that goes without question. It's not even close. Neon's heads and shoulders, but Labula has the ability to stay alive. That invincibility, that ability that she can drop down for the team is nuts. Everybody's able to stay alive underneath it. Somebody has to target it and break it down. And all while that's happening, Labula can actually burst down a lot of these damage heroes by standing close to them, using her ability, and then just shooting shots, just on the ground, jumping up and down. Labula is one of the hardest targets to hit. And now they added that Lollipop ultimate back into the game. That closes the gap between Neon and Labula. Neon obviously has a very good ultimate to where everybody can survive with that invincibility. But that Lollipop silence, bro, that thing is a game changer. You land a good ultimate there, you can even shut down these channeling ultimates. Like Labula's not, that's a serious healer. I think in a very good spot right now in the current meta. Next hero, we did have a buff to the Shell. So Shell is going to be rising up from A to S. I'm surprised they buffed her, but like I said, I'd rather have a strong game, because even with the buff, she still doesn't match up to the ceiling of Aletta. But now she is very strong in comparison to what she was before. She can burst down all these damage heroes. She can really eat them. Of course, the only limitation is that she's very predictable, and she doesn't have infinite range like the Aletta, so she can still get outplayed. But if you get up close, especially in those control game modes, or if you can play the angles correctly, she's very good. Her ultimate too, the silence, putting them up into the air, can be very toxic and hard to deal with. So I like seeing I like seeing Shell here in the S tier, and you guys know she's got a special place in my heart. One of my favorite heroes in this game. Next, we're gonna be moving up Victor from the B tier to the A tier. I think I was disrespecting him way too much. Ain't no way he's got to be down here with some of these trash cans, bro. Victor is really good. Like, I've seen some niche, and it's a niche pick. I'm getting the words mixed up right there. I still believe, in my opinion, these AT heroes are just below the OP and S. I like, in my personal head, I think OP and S is like this, and then A is like a smidge below them. But of course, if your personal preference, you think any of these A's can play there, then that's really good for you. But I really don't think, I really do think that Victor, as a niche pick and played, he requires synergy with your team, in my opinion. But I've seen some nasty compositions running Victor, the Neon, and like a couple other dive heroes to where he just doesn't die. He can absorb so much damage with his ability. His shotgun, if you can aim it well, is super good. His 2-second stun on that crowd control is unbelievably good. I think Victor is, of course, the third, maybe fourth, actually. Sort of depends. Third, fourth best tank in this game. But either way, Victor does not deserve to be down here in the B tier. So we're going to be putting him up there into the A tier. Another hero that I think I'm going to take out, I was debating this one hard, but I do believe that Yaw, I don't think is on the same. Like, Yaw and Diggy in the same tier pains me because I just don't think, Diggy's not that good in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I know we can get into that argument all day. There's a lot of Diggy stands out there. She's one correct buff away from being insane, though, because I remember before they added second abilities, her shotgun was actually really good. You put her like that, and now she's in the conversation with the Letta Shell. You know, I'm down for that. That teleport to the back line, I'm down for that. But she's just so inconsistent. So I'm keeping her. She's staying there in the B tier. Johnny's another one of those interesting niche picks where if you just want to have more fun, you can play him. I understand, especially in the lower elos, he's got very good utility being invisible. People don't have auto fire, or they only have auto fire on, no shoot button. Or if you do have a shoot button, people can't find him. But I just still don't think that he offers enough value to get out of this B tier. In my opinion, especially with all these reveals, all these scans, all these AoEs, it can be harder for him to shine. Still a very good hero. You guys have seen my Johnny Jet gameplay. I think you're going to see some more this week as well. He's good. He's a very, very good hero. It's just every hero in this game is good, but we got to keep things objective when it comes to this tier list. So I say objective, but in my opinion, right, at the end of the day, subjective, I think he's a B tier hero. On to the next one here. We've got, I didn't even say much about y'all there. I think y'all, the 13 bullets is nice. The reflect is nice when you get on the flank. You're doing damage. They look at you. You put it up. They can kill themselves. I think that's really good. It's a solid ability. She just doesn't feel as strong as some of the other ones. So we'll leave her here in the A tier. Next one, another hero. I think this is the last hero. I believe we're moving up from the B tier. Is Mark. Mark's going to be coming up from B into the A tier because I don't think Mark's on the level as these heroes at the bottom. I said the last one, I didn't see her. We'll talk about her in a second, boy. All right, so Mark's gonna come up from B. He's going up into the A tier. I think that's a disrespectful spot for him to be in. If you master the Mark hero, you can be extremely good in this game because he's almost like a hybrid between the flank and the damage, to where if he can get to that backline and laser them, Mark can be very, very dangerous. It's just that he's so linear. He's kind of like Shell in that sense, where he's just so linear. What he wants to do is so obvious. And they're just some heroes. He's like jack of all trades, master of none, which can be solid. And I've seen him dominate even in the higher elos, but I still believe that when it comes to mastering a hero, I think Mark is an A tier. Master him, cook off, go crazy, but I think A tier. And then the last hero I think we're moving is going to be, well, it's obviously Judix. So Judix is gonna fly up from S or from B to S tier. That goes without saying, because Judix, that buff they gave her almost wanted me to consider OP, but I still believe that the Hualing and the Lassie, it's the one-shot potential and like the rest of their kit that makes them really strong. Judix though now is extremely strong in this game, so I'm moving her up into the S tier. The 2-shot to the head for a lot of these heroes, I think it's even headshot, body shot, depending if they have 5600 HP. She can 2-shot some heroes now with that combination, whereas before it was always 3 shots. You needed 3 shots to kill them. So, and that was like 2 headshots and a body shot, or I think maybe it might have been a headshot, 2 body shots. Either way though, she's extremely strong now. What a buff to her. She's able to compete at the highest level of the game. Her utility was always good. Her grenades, the stuns, or the flash and the stun was always good, and the ultimate, the AoE they were always good, but it was the gun and having 4 bullets that limited her. Beefing up that damage makes her incredible now, so I believe she hangs out here in the S tier. We look at the rest of these heroes here, and we'll just talk about them really quick. Zero Kelvin, he's got to stay at the bottom. Ano, the idea is kind of cool, but bottom tier tank in my opinion. The Vincent, if you're going to play flanker, I can see how he can sometimes be viable. He can sometimes be a problem. Like I said, everybody's good, so you're going to see games where people cook with Vincent or they cook with ZK. Like, you've seen me do it, you've seen people in my games do it, but ultimately super niche picks. They're going to stay here in the B tier. Chemist just doesn't do enough for me as a healer. The anti-heal is like a cool thing, but I feel like we need OG Chemist back to match with the skills of the Neon and the Labula. Kazuma, I actually had a lot of fun playing him. You'll see some more gameplay of him this week. Kazuma is pretty fun, but I still believe B tier, the utility is just not as good. Sindri stays at the bottom too. I do think Chemist is better than Sindri, but now we're talking about who's the best at the bottom of the barrel. Doesn't really matter. Fort, another really strong main tank in the game. What's crazy is, okay, I might change my mind here in the A tier in a second, but Fort, B tier for sure. We've talked about Mark. Iris, very strong, very good damage if she can stay safe. Obviously she puts out a lot of damage. She's really good, but I still think third best healer in the game. We love Christina. Great AoE, great DPS. We love having her in the A tier. Strong hero. Some people would argue that this is probably one of the ones where people will argue with me and say, oh, S tier. I can see you arguing that. But once again, I said anybody here is all on the same level. They're all good. Just pick whoever you enjoy the most. Gatlin, strong, niche pick now. Niche pick. She's just not the mobility. She doesn't have as much utility as some of these other damage heroes. She's just so straightforward, so obvious. No mobility, just stuck. Right? But really good pick into those double, triple tank compositions. The reason why I was looking at this here is Ruby's actually like not bad, bro. She's not bad. I'm gonna leave her in the A tier though. I think it's a proper placement having her in the A tier. I had a good game with her, but I think A tier on the Ruby. When you just look at it, the Fade, the Jabal, I just don't think she's on Fade's level. I know she's kind of like she is an aggressive tank, but I still think that the Fade level is crazy. Her stun is crazy though, so this might be disrespectful actually. Her stun is crazy. I don't know. Let's talk about everybody else and see if I decide to move her off. I might not. I don't know yet. Scotty's a good S tier hero. She's strong. You can argue people that are really good on Scott. As a good Scotty scares me. They can easily play at the OP level. We love Gloria. Good damage still. I'm not going to drop her. Straightforward. Good value. Good damage. It's just a strong, solid hero. Really good for beginners as well. I love my boy Osas, but unfortunately just completely outclassed when it comes to the sniper category. When you compare him to Lassia and Hualing, it's just the way it is. The right hand peek advantage, being able to just do that is strong. You know what I'm saying? He still provides a lot of utility. I don't think he deserves a nerf. So anybody that played the OP tier, I want us to just beef everyone up. But if you're gonna nerf someone, they better hit Lassia and Hualing before they touch Osas. Because Osas is a balanced, strong sniper in my opinion, but still very good. We love the Hunter. We love the utility. Not a lot of people can play him to perfection, but if you know how to play Hunter, you can get a lot of value. And the self-heal, the self-sustain, all of that's still really good. The only one that I'm actually really struggling with right now is I don't know if... No, I think Ruby's A tier. I think Ruby's A tier because I just believe peak Fade is the best. So yeah, this is it. This is the tier list. I'm not gonna move her up to A. I had a really good game with her, but like I said, these are all really close, and that's just the way the game is. And I love a game that has all the heroes very close. We'll just hold this screen here. I think this is the tier list. I think this is the tier list for the season. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If I disrespected your mains, my bad. But I like what I'm seeing right now. I like the meta too. I'm not tripping. Strong heroes. Beef the bottom up some more. Let's get all these B tier heroes into the S and to the A. I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not get Fort, OG Fort. Whip them back up. Boy, I'm not tripping. Bring them up. If we have a strong game where everybody's strong and everybody's just S tier and A tier, obviously it's always so weird because ultimately someone's always going to be at the bottom, but still, you know, if everybody's skill ceiling was kind of similar, I think that would be a really good vibe. But we'll hop into a quick game now just to finish off the rest of the video. A 1/2 game, perfect time to throw in some we'll throw this on the back end of this this tier list, you know what I'm saying, the tier list, because I was like, I'm in diamond, but I'm getting both of those games. We even got a gold in our lobby. We're getting both of those games where I'm still getting, you know, those half games. Sometimes I get into the pro matches. I prefer the pro matches personally, but a half game is good since we've already talked a bunch for the tier list. And I know people have been wanting me to get back on my Ruby grind, my Ruby stands. Where y'all at, bro? And this is a clean skin too. I haven't used it yet. So good. Hey, this is for you, M. This is for you, M. Try to get some crack gameplay here. Toxic comp on their team. Oh, they switched up. No double tank anymore, which is huge for us. I didn't want to have to deal with both Jabali and Ruby, but Letta's not fun to deal with either. So. This is the part where I die, huh? We need her dead so badly. Nice. We do have positioning. Okay, cool. I was trying to see where the rest of my team was so I can decide whether to play the point or to... Oh, there's too many people over there. That... Just kidding. Got the predictions right, but Watch out, baby girl. She's alright. Nice. Ruby can actually track the Aletta pretty well. I mean, obviously tracking is your own skill, but because it's like a hip-fire shotgun, no, of course you timed that to perfection. Didn't mean to, but who do I focus here?
Tracking hostiles.
You will escape.
Good thing is she can't stay still, so she can't stay on the objective. Nice.
Boom!
Nicely done, lads. I think our healer's doing really well too. I've been staying alive, so I can't do anything about her. Someone's gonna have to take her out. Is this worth the push or no? I think so. I forget how annoying a Ruby is actually. She's so good. I be tripping out. Because I'm so used to playing main tank, I just be forgetting that people like there's some other good tanks too and I die here. That's the healer, but I positioned myself so poorly. I appreciate you for saving me. It is sad that I am the main tank, because as a secondary tank I do have to go for this play right here. I'm trying to get to that Ruby, you know what I mean? Or to that Gatling, I mean. Open up the angle.
You will escape.
I slept on this character, bro. But I sleep on a lot of characters, huh? Back when I was playing Superstar Push only. Let's not forget. So where my OGs at? Where my OGs in the comment section right now? I know y'all didn't forget. That's on me. That's my bad. Y'all know I was my first main ever in this game ever was Ruby, bro. That's who I used to play. That was the first hero when she was pretty strong too. They nerfed her damage. The first hero I ever mained in this game was Ruby, and this is why, bro. Look at that, 15-0, no deaths. Shout out to my healer, 18 assists, because she kept me alive a bunch. Because I had to, I still don't like playing Ruby as main tank, because there's a lot of plays there where I just want to be aggressive and go for the flank, because you kind of have to. I still think she's a very good, like if you have a Jabal on your team, because having a flank in Ruby is so annoying as a damage to deal with, because the shield's in your face. By the time you break the shield, she's reloading, or you're reloading, and she has all these other shields to hide behind. So it's kind of tough to deal with a flank in Ruby. She's really strong. But it still worked out there as a main tank, and I still had the most damage in the game outside of the Gatling. That's expected though. Gatling has really good damage, but most damage on my team, 166k. I mean, 1508, bro. Don't get much better than that, my boys. GG's, GG's.